After traveling throughout the world to get diverse perspectives in politics, I'm coming here today to look at the presidential elections of Mexico and the United States, and this is what I found.
Let's take you to another election happening or has happened all the way in Mexico. Claudia Sheinbaum has been elected as Mexico's first female president.
The first woman to be elected president of Mexico, one with more votes than any other candidate by a landslide. She's a scientist, a former Mexico City mayor, and founder of the governing left-wing Morena party.
After nearly a century of neoliberal domination of Mexican politics, Mexico elected its first third-party leaning president with Andrés Manuel López Obrador, AMLO, in 2018. After his 6 years of president, Mexico elected their first woman president from the same Morena party, Claudia Sheinbaum.
¿Una mujer?
No, ¿cuál de las dos?
Sheinbaum.
¿Y por qué piensa eso?
Porque es el partido que ahorita está un poco más fuerte y está dentro del gobierno. El poder es Morena, que es la que representa ese.
Sí.
Tristeza porque si no pudo con una ciudad, creo que no va a poder con un país.
Querer esperar algo tan rápido solo porque va a entrar una mujer como presidenta. Y creo que desde los debates se vio cómo la atacaron, desde antes se ve cómo el machismo permea, desde que le dicen que es una títere, que si es la calca, mil cosas. Desde ahí te está faltando el respeto. Y sin embargo, ella lo supo manejar y dice, yo sé quién soy, tengo mis ideas, he gobernado, tengo estudios, tengo preparación y dice que primero el pueblo, entonces esperemos que sí.
After filming the voting results in Mexico, I found myself in San Diego, California, where there I met Karina Garcia, a Chicana who was born and raised from LA, and she too was running for presidential election here in the United States. I wanted to get more of a better insight of who she was, and this is what I found.
Aquí estamos. Y no nos vamos. Y no nos vamos. Y si nos echan. Nos regresamos.
We do the hardest jobs for the lowest wages. We make this country rich. And in return, we get disrespected and we get blamed for the problems that the richest people in the world created.
To follow up with Karina Garcia, we decided to do an audition meeting one-on-one where we both got to know each other in a more personal level, and I got to ask her about her perspective on Mexican politics. And to my surprise, Claudia de la Cruz, who was running for president at the United States, was also attending into this meeting. Here is what I was able to get from this interview.
There's a strong history of people who are radically politicized to gain their liberation. And so, of course, you would have Mexico have their first woman president before the United States. Of course, you would have a progressive government like the Morena government before the United States saw a progressive government in this country. Like, hell yeah, you would see that first, because Mexico has been struggling for centuries to be able to get to this place. And, you know, there have been serious attacks. There has been and there is a resurgence of far-right politics everywhere in the world. But like Claudia, with her expertise, with her politics, which is the most important piece, and with her people at heart leading Mexico.
And being a Chicana and growing up in the United States but having my family in Mexico, I feel like I actually have all these memories as a kid seeing the very thing that Claudia is saying. The fact that the consciousness of the Mexican people is in fact far more advanced when it comes to history, when it comes to politics, when it comes to philosophy, a lot actually. I remember when I would go to Mexico with my grandmother as a kid, and the kids would be talking about politics. And at the time it was like they were talking about Salinas and, you know, they were like, it was all about the PRI and everything. And I was just like dumbfounded, honestly, because I was like, wow, I need to get my shit together. These kids are like talking about all the political parties and the corruption and this and that and all these world affairs. And that's not how kids talk in the United States.
This is only a small corner of our journey as we have months of history and development, but we hope you'll stay tuned with us as our journey keeps progressing. Muchas gracias. Hasta luego.
We're vendors. We've been selling. We're selling shirts and caps and Trump gear. But I voted for Trump since the first election, and second, and now the third election. And
we voted socialist.
I am supporting Kamala Harris because even though I don't agree with every single part of Kamala Harris's policies, I do think that she's a better option.